Hey, this is Elizabeth with Mad for Macrame, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this purse. This is an easy project. I tried to keep the pattern as simple as possible with two different strap options. For supplies, you'll need a 7mm hook, some scissors, and a tapestry needle. I also have a leatherette tag with a rivet and a couple of clips. These are optional. For cord today, I'm using Bobbini's new 4mm braided. This is available in 12 different colors, and I love the size. It's a little bit bigger than their 3, but a little smaller than their 5, and it's super soft. If you want to try this new cord, check out the link in the description. To begin, we need to make a slip knot. This is how I like to do it. There's several different ways, but I like to leave my tail about 3 inches long, lay the cord out on my table, and then twist the end to create a loop. The tail is on top, and I like to pinch that loop in my hand. Make sure to grab the working cord and push it through the loop that we created, creating a new loop. This is where you'll add your hook. And it's called a slip knot because you can pull on the tail or the working cord to loosen or tighten that knot up. Let me show you again. So we create a loop by twisting that cord away from us. Then make sure to hold on to the loop right where it starts to cross over and push that working cord through. Let me see if I can show you at a different angle. So you push the working cord through, creating a new loop, and then you tighten the tail and working cord down. Now you can add your hook through that new loop, and you can tighten it down by pulling on the working cord. To begin, we're going to start off by making a chain of 12. To do that, you take the working cord and yarn over your hook. Make sure to twist your hook down and pull that loop through, the one that's on your hook. So that's one. We yarn over and pull through. There's 2. And we're going to make 12 of these. Now that we have our chain of 12, you'll see each stitch kind of makes this V shape. If you flip the chain over on the back side, you want to find these little back bumps. So there's a V and a little loop underneath it. This is where we're going to place our hook for the next row. And we'll insert our hook underneath each one of these back bumps, working our way down the chain, making single crochets. So for the first one, you want to start with the closest back bump to your hook, and it's always a little tight with this first stitch. So insert your hook. Now to make a single crochet, you want to yarn over with your working cord and pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both. You'll place 1 single crochet in each of the back bumps working down the chain on the back side. That'll give you a total of 12 stitches. We're going to work this bag in a spiral formation without any joins, so our base needs to have a little bit of an oval shape for the bottom of the bag. We just made 12 single crochets in those back bumps, but in that last stitch, in that last back bump, you need to make an extra single crochet. Now we'll have 13. This stitch helps round off that oval shape on the bottom. Now turning your piece over to the next side, because we're working in that spiral, you'll see our stitches that run around the outside of our bag, these V's right here. This is where we're going to place our hook for the next round, underneath the outside V's, or the top V's as I like to call them. So in that first V, don't worry about your tail, just move it out of the way. You're going to make a single crochet. You'll place one single crochet under each one of the V's on the opposite side. And when we get to the last stitch, we're going to make 2 single crochets to give that bag that oval shaped bottom. So you'll have 13 stitches on one side and 13 stitches on the other, placing those increases right on the bottom stitches. On the last V on this side, when you get to the end, we're going to place 2 single crochets. This is stitch 12 on this side, and we're going to go back into that same space and make number 13. So just remember to increase on each end. It's a little hard to see, but we already talked about those V's that run around the outside. If you want to do a quick stitch count at this point, you'll see that you have 26 of these V's running around the edge of our piece. And here at the bottom is where we placed our increase. And then 26 right here at the top where we placed our other increase. So now we can start with our goose feet pattern. Instead of inserting our hook underneath these top V's like a traditional single crochet, we're going to work in the side V's below. So for this first V here, it's kind of hard to see on the ends because it is so tight. We're going to insert our hook through the center of this side V, place 2 single crochet, skip the next, place 2 single crochet, skip, and you'll just continue to repeat that same sequence. So on this first V here, I like to check the back, make sure I'm in the center of that stitch. Let's make our first single crochet, going back in that same space, we'll place a second single crochet. Now we'll skip the next side V, so we're going to skip this V here and then work in the following 2 single crochet. Again, we'll skip the next V, this one here, and work 2 single crochet in the following. And you'll continue to follow that same pattern all the way around. Once you get to the opposite side, you continue to follow that same pattern, so you skip a side V on the end and then make 2 single crochet in the following V. Working your way around that oval shape on the bottom. And as you start to stitch around these corners or the edges of the oval, you'll feel them tighten up naturally. You want to see your V's on the outside of the bag, so I like to push those corners down just to give it that shape. And when you work around the corner, you can see these V's are much tighter and hard to see. Just be careful as you're working to make sure you skip a V and then place 2 single crochet in the next. So we're skipping one and inserting our hook in the following. Now that I've made a complete round of the goose feet pattern, you see we still have our side V's, we're going to skip and then make 2 single crochet. And again, we're going to skip this V and place 2 in the next. If you prefer a written pattern, I'll have one available and I'll place the link in the description for you. And again, we skip. So we skip this V and then just continue 2 single crochet. I wanted to do a quick stitch count. So you count these outside V's, and at all times you should have 26 V's around the edge, because we are using that spiral formation and we don't have any joins or slip stitches between rounds. And this is what it starts to look like after you complete a few rounds. You can really see those V's on the outside in that goose feet pattern. And as you work around the sides of the bag, you can see those V's much clearer now. As I was working and crocheting rounds, I noticed that I made a mistake on the previous round, and I wanted to show you this in case it happens to you. So I didn't make 2 single crochets in that V, I only made 1, so I don't have a V to skip here, and that's okay. I'm not going to take it apart, I'm just going to continue working. It's on the side of the purse, so I'm going to place 2 single crochet in this 1 V, and even though I didn't have one to skip, I'm just going to move on. That's the great thing about the goose feet stitch. If you do make a mistake, it's easily hidden, especially if it's on the side, and you don't have to take everything apart and start all over again. So if you're not exactly sure where your hook goes, or if your stitch count gets off a little bit, it's okay. Just make an extra stitch or take one away and keep going. And see, you don't really even notice that I missed that 1 stitch. And this is the height that I'm looking for. I've completed several rounds. I didn't even count, I just kept going until it looked about the height that I wanted. Make sure that you stop on one of the sides here after you finished 2 of your single crochet. And for the last round of this bag, I want to make some slip stitches underneath these top V's here. So insert your hook underneath the next top V, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one that's on your hook. And the next V, yarn over and pull through. I think the slip stitches just give the bag a little bit of a more finished look, and it helps hide that transition where we didn't make any joins and we worked in that spiral formation. You'll make these slip stitches all the way around until you get back to where you started. Now that we're done, you can go ahead and clip your cord. Leave your tail about 6 inches long. You want to have enough to weave in. Then pull your hook out, pulling that cord all the way through. And I like to use a tapestry needle to weave in this tail. To finish this off, we're going to make an invisible close. You want to insert your needle underneath the first V or slip stitch we created, bringing that cord from bottom to top. Now to complete that V, the tail needs to go through the center of the last slip stitch we made, so the center of this V here, and that will bring the tail to the inside of the purse. so we can weave it in. The tricky part is to make sure you don't split the cord. There we go. Make a few adjustments, just make sure that your V matches the others. And then weave in this tail, or you can even tie a small knot. Now our bag is finished. I really like working in that spiral because it's very simple and easy. You don't have to worry about joining the rounds. We started off with that chain of 12, so you can make the chain smaller or larger and adjust this pattern. Because we worked in that spiral, you can see right here on the side it's a little bit uneven, but no need to worry. I think we can add that leatherette tag and hide that little join there where we made that first slip stitch. So I have these available in sew or rivet options in 3 different colors. I really think they look cute on a bag. It just gives it a little detail. And there we go. Now we just need a handle. For this first handle option, I want to keep it nice and simple. With a new piece of cord, we're going to make a chain. And I actually like to start stitching not underneath this whole slip stitch, but right on top. You'll see these V's that kind of run around the edge. Starting on one of the sides, insert your hook underneath that V. Create a loop with your new piece of cord and add that to your hook and pull it through. Now make a chain as long as you'd like by yarning over and pull through. I like to make the chain and then try the bag on just to check the size, and when you're finished you can attach the chain to the opposite side just like we added that new piece of cord on this side. Then tie a little knot using your tail and weave in the end. For the second option, I have these 2 little metal clips that match the rivet on my tag. So I think I'm going to start off by making a slip knot. Just like we did in the beginning, create a loop and then push that working cord through that loop and tighten down. Now add your hook on the loop. And to start off, we're going to make a chain of 2. So yarn over with your working cord and pull through. That's 1. Yarn over and pull through. That's 2. We want to insert our hook in that first chain that we made. This V right here next to the knot we created in the beginning. You're just going to insert your hook through the center of that first V and pull up a loop. That'll give us 2 loops on our hook. Now carefully remove that loop from your hook. I like to pinch the cord right at the bottom of that loop, just so it doesn't pull through. Now yarn over and pull through that first loop. Add the second loop back on your hook. Yarn over and pull through that second loop. Again, you'll remove your hook. And make sure to hold tightly right here at the bottom of this loop where the working cord goes through. Yarn over, pull through that first loop. Add the second loop on your hook. Yarn over and pull through that second loop. And you'll repeat this until you reach the length that you're looking for. When you're finished, the end where we started, I like to remove that slip stitch just so there's an open loop at the bottom. and use the tail to attach the little clip. I take the tail and push it through that loop and just tie a knot. Then you can weave the tail through the center of your handle and clip off any excess cord. Just make sure it feels nice and secure. As for the other side, I like to remove my hook. That'll leave us with those two little loops. Make sure you clip your working cord if you're working off of the skein. Leave your tail about 6 inches long, and I'm going to attach the ring through these two little loops. So I'm going to use the tail and run it through all 3 of the loops and just tie a small knot. Now I'm going to weave that tail in just like on the other side, down the handle, and clip off the excess cord. This will give us a thicker, more sturdy chain, and you can remove it because it has those little clips. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you had fun crocheting this purse with me. Thank you again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and if you need the supplies to make one, check out the link in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!